Hi, Movie Club Strikes Back. It's me, Jenny, aka Class Librarian, and this week's pick was from the one and only Philip Defranco, who, if you don't know who Philip Defranco is, and I don't know how you would have found my channel if you don't know who Philip Defranco is, but wow for finding me, I'm glad to have you here. He is the sort of grandfather to the movie club sort of group that we are in. He had his show that was relatively popular. He started watching movies and inviting video responses. SourceFed started doing the same thing, which is kind of an off branch from his original movie club, and I have to say I for one definitely wouldn't have started vlogging or anything like that if it wasn't for his influence. So he definitely has had a big impact on this little dinky community that we've created, and I'm so happy that he apparently knows about our little club and was willing to support us by picking a pick for us. That being said, he picked Teeth, and if you don't know what Teeth is, better off not knowing. I can't recommend this film, and I won't. I think the only thing that I can really say about this film that would have been enjoyable if it wasn't for the overall plot would be the fact that there is a lot of satirical looks at sex education in very religious communities, the concept of just not giving children and teenagers the correct information so that their sexual awakening is a very twisted one, and it does in some ways epitomise a very hyperbolic look at pre-sexual awakening fears, the fear of intimacy and the fear of not knowing how your body works. Like, that is addressed, and that's probably the most interesting part of this. One of the great things about this film, slash one of the greatest flaws of this film, is it is a tongue-in-cheek look at that subject, particularly the subject of rape. It's very tongue-in-cheek, it's relatively humorous, it knows it's going for a shock factor, it knows it's going for that response. I think most people who've watched this have watched this just so that their friends can see their faces. So the film does know that's what it's aiming for. It's aiming for gore, it's aiming for shock value, it's aiming for that look, and for... it's just very over the top, and it knows it. So it is meant to be so shocking it makes you laugh, which in itself could be enjoyable if it wasn't for the fact that, particularly, maybe it's my perspective, but the subject of rape should be addressed in a serious manner. I would recommend watching Once We're Warriors or The Hunt, which at least discuss sexual violence in a sophisticated way, or at least in a grim way. This is so very tongue-in-cheek, it feels almost like it's making a mockery of some of the sexual violence that does happen in this film. And generally, rape and revenge films as a genre are just appalling, and lead to really horrendous stereotyping at the beginning, and even worse stereotyping at the end. Usually, when I was doing research into this for my gender politics, usually it leaves with the woman being more of the monster than the men who attacked her, if that's the case. And it's really unfair, really cruel stereotyping all the way through, and it's just violent and nasty. There's not really more that I can say without going into a lot of detail, but rape and revenge films, just, I can't recommend them, and people who do love them or make them, I don't think I have respect for those people. I think the only rape and revenge film perhaps that I could recommend would be Pulp Fiction, but that's because it's a very small offshot of the plot, and it does defy the gender stereotypes that usually occur in the genre. There we go. I think just the concept that sexual violence and physical violence are put on an even standing is just horrendous and unfair, and they are very different types of violence, and both of them are horrendous, but they are different, and putting them on the same level is just completely, in my opinion, appalling. So, the acting was okay, the direction was okay. In order to keep the fear factor up, they used a lot of sound effects, they used a lot of not cutting to the physical gore very often. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 clips of actually the gore. It's relatively well done. Some of the sets are gorgeous. It's, as I said, it's very overt, it's very tongue-in-cheek, so there's a lot of visual metaphors that are going on throughout the film. There's the vagina-shaped tree hole, there's the fact that the first attack happens in a wet cave, there's the crab crawling on the penis. So I'll give it points for that, but other than that, I have no respect for this film, and there we go. So I can't really thank you for the pick, Phil. I'm kind of tempted to buy a I Hate Philip Defranco shirt now, but I understand why you chose it, because it's a shock film, and it gets people talking, at least. I really want to scour the inside of my brain to get rid of the visuals from this film, but there we go. Feel free to comment down below, sympathy would be appreciated, and I will hopefully see you guys very soon. I've got a new bookcase, if you hadn't been able to tell. It's just because we got given a new bookcase and I had room in my room, so now I have a nice place to film in front of with all my DVDs. There are still books, they're just up top. Chris, I will get round to doing your pick. I just, for some reason, the links that you put in just don't work. I will find them, I will get round to filming it, and I will get round to filming my Singing in the Rain review. I just wanted to get this video filmed, because I want to be able to block this film from my mind. There we go. Bye guys!